So, I get this question a lot of times, and this happened at a recent meetup, one of the young entrepreneur meetups I run. And I think the conversation, it went quite deep because it was quite emotional. It's a very emotional thing because it's connected to your family. How do you deal with your parents, giving you that pressure of saying, go back to work, create stability, do all those things. And for me, many years, I created this sort of hatred in myself that I didn't like my parents because they never supported me, or they never gave me anything, or they didn't understand me. And I just created this hatred and this deepness within inside me that I wanted them to respect it, but they never. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of emotion there that gets involved, and how to deal with your parents and how to deal with the pressure of your family is very simple. And sometimes it requires a level of sacrifice. And I'm not saying a huge amount of sacrifice, I'm talking about some level of sacrifice. So what I mean by that is, I recently moved back to Birmingham. I'm not married yet, so I sat down with my parents and I had that discussion with them. But before I did that, before I asked for something, before I tell them something, I went through this 3 to 6 months of showing them that I'm an adult and showing them that I'm responsible and showing them that I'm mature. And I think very few entrepreneurs do that in general. And responsibility, they don't want to see that in terms of money. They don't want to see your business. They don't want to hear about those things. They don't really understand it. So there's no point really trying to explain it. What they want to see is what type of person you are in the house. So sometimes, I don't have to grow my beard. I don't have to do things for them, but I choose to do it because that brings a level of closeness and respect. As much as they hate me, I come home and I pray in front of them. I eat at home more often. I spend most of my evenings at home these days. I do things they want me to do. Like you saw it earlier, Stephen, you came in and you saw my dad phone me. My dad hasn't phoned me in a very long time to say, can you do something for me? I've got older siblings as well, and it's, especially being the youngest, you get a lot of pressure from, being this doctor or being this, engineer or being this lecturer or being this, for whatever it is that they aspire you to be. But for me, I stuck to my guns. Yeah, I created a lot of hatred, but it's got nothing to do with that. They'll always love you. They don't hate you. They'll always support you. They've been there, they've grown you up, they've brought you into this world, and I think you need to be grateful for that, because you'll never go through the pain or the story of raising a child, and you won't understand this till you're a parent. And they said that to me, but I only realized that actually, my parents are at an older age and I haven't really respected them or haven't really spent time with them. So for me, it was that reality check that I had, and I was like, you know what it is, my parents do make me happy, they do love me, they do support me, but I need to change my own ways. I need to get out my own way. I need to stop thinking that they hate me and start acting like a real responsible adult, a mature son that they want me to be. And yes, that requires a certain level of sacrifice, because they don't want to see you do wrong. All they want is the best for you, but they probably just don't know what's best for you right now because you've never had a conversation with them. So there's certain things I think there's 3 things that you can really do. Spend more time at home. And yeah, it requires you to sacrifice an element of hustle, but you still need to do it. The second thing is really sit down and I put this on a post on Facebook as well, really sit down and ask for their advice when it comes to certain issues. So I asked my dad the other day, what's your advice on dealing with haters? They're mature, they're older individuals, they have experience, they have knowledge, they're wise, their wisdom. You utilize that, ask them the right questions. What's your best approach with this? And he sat me down and he told me, and it was like, but that's like the first time in 23 years you've come to ask me for advice. So, do you know what I mean? I've had to sacrifice. I ruined the relationship between my parents. My parents didn't ruin the relationship. I did it because I was trying to be the irresponsible one. I was being the crazy one that I was all about, and they didn't understand why I was coming home too late in the morning because I was at events and all sorts. I spend a lot more time with them. I care for them. I ask them how they are. I treat them with a level of love and respect, and it's the small things that matter. It's the fact that you pray, and the fact that, for example, in our culture we wear Asian clothes. I stopped wearing English clothes when I'm at home. I started coming home and changing to Asian clothes. I started spending more time eating with them. All these other things. I'm probably rambling on a bit here, but it just comes down to, you know what it is, just because they don't understand you, it doesn't mean they don't love you. And I think the minute you understand that, you'll get out your own way and you'll start to build a really close relationship with them.